What's up, guys? As we kind of take a step back this month, and we're going to talk about direct buyer and seller strategies. Today, I'm going to bring back John Schuchman, my business partner, who was on last week's episode about surviving in the real estate industry. We're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk about specific buyer strategies that he used to build his business over the last few years. Absolutely next level stuff. So can't wait to bring him back. I will also bring him back later on in the month to talk about his listing strategies. But today we're going to focus on the buyer strategies and see if we can give you a few tactical things that will help you, get a couple more deals as we close out 2023 here in the second half. As always, like, comment, subscribe, but let's get into the episode and bring back John. What's up, guys? We have my business partner, John Schuchman, back. As you heard in the intro, John, thank you so much for coming back. Today, we are going to talk about your unique buyer strategies. This is going to be a quick hitter. We just want to know what you've done to be successful with buyers in the market. So thanks so much for tuning in or joining me today, and let's get into it. So how are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Good to see you.
Perfect. So tell me a little bit about your success in real estate. I know it took you 9 months to get a transaction, but then you kind of exploded. What were you doing with buyers kind of as a newer agent to get off the schneid and kind of get that first transaction? And how did it kind of exponentially grow from there?
Yeah, I think I had a benefit. It was a pain in the neck at the time, but I'll now tell you it was a benefit. My first buyer in real estate, we saw 63 homes. Guys, do not ever do that. My check was $2,200. I promise you, I spent more in gas on those showings than I earned, but that's okay. But here's the deal. I remember showing them, and I probably got about, 15, 20 showings in and was like, this sucks, right? But what I did from there was leverage that and realize, well, dang it. Now, again, the client was originally searching in Pennsylvania and then Maryland and back, and because of a job. So it normally isn't 63 showings, but that's kind of what happened and why it was so many showings. So instead of moaning and complaining about it like I wanted to do, I said, how can I leverage this, right? And so that's exactly what I did. I shared it on social media to the point where, June of 2020 was when my first deal settled. And that first deal, I met them in November. So from December to April, we looked at homes, and people said to me, they would say, you're crushing it. You're crushing it. You're crushing it. I was like, broker than broke is how I felt. And I guess we were at the time, living off my wife's $40,000 a year job. But I learned from that you can leverage social media. So again, when you're out, so now you see it in every single thing that I do. Jeremy, you see it when I post, right? Happy clients. I do a lot of my showings. I will at least post on a story. If I've got a lot to post, I did a showing last Sunday and didn't post it. So when I have no content, in a week or two or whatever, I can just post that and be like afternoon showings. Nobody is really like, well, John, you posted that in July and that house was something you saw in June. Nobody knows, nobody cares, right? So I have like a content log where I just favorite stuff and post it. But by doing that, people saw, right, happy clients at the settlement table with a gift that I buy for every client, and that kind of made me stand out. And people want to work with people that they know, like, and trust. So when you saw my post, you're like, hey, that person looks happy. I want to be happy too. And right, I'm telling you kind of non-verbally through what you see, like, do you want to be happy? Come work with me as your realtor. And it works. I still have people that I won't talk to for months or even years at a time. They will see a post and they will message me and they become a potential client. So that's kind of how I've built it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just for context, I have a mini series that I'm considering is stupid questions realtors ask on Facebook groups. And, my favorite one is, I have $500. Where should I spend it? Nothing John did cost money except for driving around gas. And that's part of the job. And so he's leveraging social media. He looks like a busy realtor. The next dumb question that people ask is, what happens if my client asks me if I've sold any houses or whatever. Well, John showed that he was the busiest realtor in town because he built his business through social media. The people that he's helping are probably in his sphere, and they see that he's busy, so they don't have to ask him that question. And so that's kind of that piece in a nutshell. And it's super important to do that. And so talk to me about a little bit about how that's kind of come about, and now how you're now leveraging that and how you're using that. Now that you're not a newer agent and you have a little bit, how do you leverage social media to help your buyers and educate them? Or, what do you use social media for as far as that goes?
Well, and I'll just go back to the driving around. That's why I bought a Tesla, because now it probably would have cost me $300 now to show all those houses instead of $2,000. But I think, the biggest thing is like the connections, right? Connecting with people that are interested in selling. I've got people deals that they didn't, and I've kind of connected with buyers, connected them with a potential home through social media, right? I'm scouring groups. And I think another thing too for realtors out there is I see it all the time, and I released a podcast episode about this called The Early Bird Gets the Worm, because guess what? In these Facebook groups in your area, so for me here in Lancaster, PA, there's a Lidditz PA group. There's a Lancaster, PA rentals, purchases, buying homes. I have the notifications turned on for all of those groups. So as soon as we get off this call, one of the first things I'll do is check my Facebook notifications, right? And just see, hey, did anything pop up? Does anyone need a realtor near me? No? Okay, leave Facebook. The other thing too is right now the power at EXP with the referral networks. I got one yesterday where I was the first person to comment. It said, need a realtor, Lancaster, PA. Boom. I jumped on it and it was a done deal. I got the thing and she was like, you just called me within 30 seconds. And I'm like, yeah, because I have notifications turned on. Now it doesn't really change my life, right? I can quickly look at my notifications. One just popped up, need a Nashville agent, right? If that were to say Lancaster, PA, I'd probably be like, Jeremy, we got to stop. I got to respond. But I just think it's kind of the silly stuff, right? We're all like kind of looking at our phone anyway. And that client texted me this. It's just a very quick Facebook or workplace notification where it gets me connected with people. Facebook is such a great tool to connect with. And I think a lot of the things you'll see on Facebook will really I don't know that I'm producing content that like buyers are like, oh, I love his content. They just see me, my family, and I've kind of said my Facebook is personal. It kind of is my Facebook is a living and breathing portfolio of everything important to me, my family, my faith, my, real estate business. But people like to work with people that they like. I was coaching someone recently about this and how it could help. She's like, well, I don't understand how this could help my business. I'm like, let's say you meet someone, right? You're going out, you're at a restaurant, you hear them talking, and this person, she's a realtor in California and she loves to travel. I'm like, you could literally, maybe you hear them talking about a trip to Europe and you could be like, oh my gosh, I've been to Europe. Where are you going? Or even if you share that personal stuff on Facebook, right? A friend of yours from college might connect and be like, oh, Jeremy, I saw that you've been traveling. Like, how was your trip? I love it there. They might be like, oh, I didn't even know you were in real estate. They might end up wanting to move to Colorado. Who's going to be the person that they contact? Like some stranger or Jeremy, who I talked to 2 months ago and loves to travel and loves, we both love the Denver Nuggets, whatever it is, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So it's just putting it out there, being human, having your clients connect with certain things is absolutely the case. Now, we're going to wrap this up, but I do want to ask John, and I know the answer to this. This is a leading question. So tell me a little bit about your client testimonials, and tell me, how many testimonials have you received from your clients, and why is that important?
Yeah, I love this. This one's so great. I've been in the real estate business 4 years. 100% of my clients have left me a review. It is important because it is the lifeblood of your business. So let's even go back to Facebook, right? I can sit there and be like, John is an amazing realtor. And you'll read that as John's a cocky jerk who talks about himself. But guess what? If I share a photo of my client with the testimonial or the written testimony in an image or just the text, whatever, you're like, holy cow, John's clients love him. right? I have a template. Guys, realtors make this so freaking hard. I have a template, right? And I'll share it with anybody that wants it. Now, you'll change the links, but I send this template to every client, Jeremy. Not only that, not only do I get 100% of my clients to give me a review, most of them leave them on all 4 sites. My number 1 is Google, Facebook, then Zillow, and Realtor.com. Most of the agents.
Zillow.
Well, I understand.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But it doesn't matter because I explained to them in this template why reviews are important, how it helps my business. And they literally, not only do I get 100%, probably 80 to 90% of them copy and paste them and go on every single site, right? I was in my county 2 years in a row. In 2021, I was the number 2 agent in terms of most reviews. 2022, I was the number 1 agent. We don't ask. We go through this whole stinking real estate process and then we're like, thanks so much. Like, no, I ask. And here's the deal, guys. I joke about it the whole time. So I had a client once, his name is Jeremy. He's much nicer than Jeremy Kane. Just kidding. But his name was Jeremy. And long story short, someone at my church connected me to Jeremy. You interested in new clients? Always. I connect with Jeremy on the phone. We talk for 2 hours, an hour, and then he goes, hey, thanks so much. We're excited to work with you. There's a home coming on the market. There's a home on the market, but it says all offers are due tonight at 6 p.m. And I'm like, I look at my watch, it's 4 p.m. And I'm like, I can be there at 5. Can you be there? So not only did I just talk to these people, I drive an hour, okay? They didn't like the house, didn't work out, no worries. But they just said, thanks so much for coming. It was really nice to meet you. And they were you got to feel the clients out, right? But they were like funny and sarcastic. And so they're like, thanks so much for coming. You're amazing. And I go, I know, make sure you write that in the 5-star review when we buy you a house. We're under contract probably 6 months later. And I miss a call from Jeremy. And I said to him, I called him back. I'm like, I'm so sorry I missed your call. I said, make sure you write that in the 1-star review. And he laughed. He thought it was hilarious. So I just kind of know you got to feel out the relationship. There's certain people I don't joke with, but I joke about it to the point where the weekend before settlement on their new home, they're clear to close. I sent Jeremy a text. I said, hey, can you do me a favor? He goes, no, John, I'm not giving you your freaking 5-star review right now. Leave me alone. But right after settlement, they did it. Here's the trick. Have a template. Ask. Most of you don't even stinking ask. And number 3, I have never let a client get past the settlement table with at least mentioning the review. Normally, I will say, hey, you can just email it to me right now. Here's the link right now, right? 2 or 3 days before settlement. Or, guys, I've had people that are like, well, I don't know how to use a computer. Well, guess what, Jedediah? That is totally fine. For the 15 minutes at settlement, when they are making copies, I'm going to create an email, jedediahrocks@gmail.com. We're going to just create the email right there since you don't know how to use a computer. And I'm going to let you type up the review. I'm going to submit it on that Google profile, log out, and that account never needs to be used again. But they typed the review and put it there. Don't let I don't use technology keep you from getting a review. There is always a workaround. I've had people that literally write it down on a piece of paper and say, I can send this to my back office for a review. Like, that's what it takes to get it on my social media and website. That's fine.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. So yeah, absolutely. And obviously, John, where can people connect with you to get all this information if they're interested in the text template or a little bit of coaching, the membership, the podcast? Where's the best place to connect with you?
Yeah, website, therealestatesurvivalguide.com is where you can find me. You can text me. Yes, I'll give you my number, 610-568-4651. Happy to connect with anybody anytime. And also socials, you can search John Schuchman and find me there.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for that. And go check out those reviews. And the coolest part about all of this, especially for newer agents and agents struggling, is all of this is very implementable. It's not, a 10-part coaching series. It's just sit down with John and he can absolutely help you, whether you're, in his organization and joining us in the Wolfpack, or, just interested in the membership, or just want the text template. Reach out to him and he'll take care of you.
And
thanks so much.
And for a lot of, just last thing, for a lot of people, right? A lot of these things you can implement in your business don't cost a dime.
Yep. And that's the thing. That's why that's a stupid question. I have $500. What should I do with it? Go buy yourself 5 dinners in our inflated.
Go spend $100 on all your clients and then get on a call with me and I'll help you for free figure out how to use social media to get 5 more.
Perfect. Sounds good. Thanks, John.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that helped. If you're interested in partnering with John and myself at the Wolfpack, please connect with John below. I will link all of his information. As well, if you're looking for a real estate agent podcast, it's absolutely next level. If you like what I'm doing here, he will absolutely bring another facet to your real estate education. And so connect with him. All stuff will be linked below. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share this episode with your favorite real estate agent if you're listening on the podcast, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.